Guys, I've got an excellent 80s metal riff for you to learn today. This is going to be a lot of fun, and it's kind of based on Ozzy's Crazy Train, but I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say this riff is going to sound much cooler, and I think it's going to be more fun for you to play, and also is going to really spawn some new ideas in your playing and in your riff writing. So we're going to get right to it, but I think I'm going to have Gunner play this riff for you. So, hey Gunner, dude, you ready to play this riff?
Yeah, dude. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Hey, wait, dude, what guitar is that?
Oh, this is my new Schroeder Marksman 87 guitar.
I don't recall telling you you can play that guitar, man. That's my guitar. I didn't say you could play that, dude. I'm sorry.
No. It's mine, not yours.
Okay, you can play it. Let's just get this riff out there. I really want to show our audience this really cool riff. If you're a Patreon supporter, you have the backing tracks and the tabs for this on my Patreon page, patreon.com/JasonStallworth, or there's a link in the description of this YouTube video. If you're not a supporter, feel free to sign up. It's just one really simple tier, very inexpensive, and I give you backing tracks and tabs to at least 2 of my lessons on YouTube per month. We're playing in the key of B minor here. To be honest with you, I don't even know what key Crazy Train is in. I don't even know if I know how to play it. I never really learned it, so anyway. But I think a lot of riffs were built kind of around that sound there. It's a really cool kind of wicked and sinister type thing going on there. Really 80s metalish too. So what we're doing here, again, we're in the key of B minor, so we're starting out with that B power chord here, okay? There are 2 parts to this riff, by the way. So let me start out by just playing the entire riff out here in the open without the full mix so you can hear it. So again, we start out with that crazy trainish little sound there, and what we're doing here, I'm going to just break this down into the 2 parts. So that first time around, which both parts are very similar, like the first part's the same, it's just how we end each part, and I'll kind of go over that at the end of this video. I'll talk more about that. We'll get into a little riff writing after this lesson, so hang around for that. What I'm doing is, again, B power chord, sometimes I play my power chords with my pinky finger for that second note. When I'm doing this type of riff, I'll use my 3rd finger because we're going to use our pinky finger for that next note, okay? So the B power chord, just basic power chord there, A string, 2nd fret, D string, 4th fret, and again, we're going to move that pinky up to the 5th fret of that D string as well as we're going through this. Sometimes you'll see me play this differently, so I know that might bring up questions like, wait, Jason, you said use this finger, but sometimes I see you using your pinky finger for both. Sometimes I'll do this. I might do this, right? Sometimes I might do this. Makes no sense to use your pinky for both of those notes there like I just did, but again, sometimes I just do that because it's just how it happens for me. So I just kind of want to cover that in case throughout this video you see me using my pinky for both. Learn what works for you. Sometimes you might play something a little awkwardly, might be unorthodox, but it might work better for you. So don't ever let someone tell you that, oh, you're playing that wrong, you should do this instead. Now, if you're new and starting out, yeah, take the advice, and sometimes those little things can help you. But if you've been playing for a while and whatever way works best for you, even though it might not make sense to someone else, don't let yourself stray from that if it truly works for you. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That wasn't supposed to be part of the lesson, but hey, it's kind of part of the lesson, right? Because, you know, play what feels comfortable, play what makes sense for you. All right, so that being said, we've got that down, right? We're playing that B power chord. We're kind of going back and forth here between that 4th and 5th fret on the D string. Then I do just a little walk down here, and this is kind of where we get away from the Crazy Train and kind of build our own little riff out of that. what I'm doing is just doing a little walk down here from the 5th, right? We're on the D string, 5th fret, 4th fret, 2nd fret. Then I do an open string there, okay, open D string. Then I play the open A. So not exactly in that sequence. It might be a little back and forth. So let me play that so I can remember what it is. One more time. Just watch my fingers closely. Again, if you're a Patreon supporter, you'll have the tabs as well. Okay, that's it. That's the little riff. Let me play it in real time here. Oops. Anyway, I hit that A string. I play that open A string before I go back to this. So that's how we play that first part. That one kind of, you know, giant riff, extended riff there. Then I land on that B power chord after that open A. I'll palm mute that a little bit, and then I'll go to a C, which the C is technically not in that key of B minor, but it gives you that little twist, and it just sounds cool. So that's that part. Let me go through the entire thing here just a couple of times, and we'll move on to part 2. Part 2 will be easy, and you'll see why. So let's go over part 1. Okay, part 2, and this is why part 2 is easy, because that first extended riff that we play, we go to the Ozzy crazy trainish type riff, and then we extend it, right, just playing some more notes, and we're playing it kind of in a slightly different cadence. It's similar, right, but there's some variations there. But anyway, the part that's different the second time around really is just the chords that we're playing. Now we kind of go back to that B and C type thing, give that wicked little twist at the end there, but this time we're going to play that riff, and we'll go over that one more time, but we're going to end the riff, instead of going back to that B and then going to the C, we're going to end it by going to a G, then an A, then we're going to go to that little BC, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. So let's go through this. I'm going to play it through, but then I'm going to really harp on that ending part, since again, this very first part, the extended riff, is the exact same that we just played. And again, I'm going to talk a little bit more about why these two pieces are different, and why I chose to keep the first parts the same in each section here. I want to talk to you about that at the end, so we'll go over that shortly. Okay, so again, that first part of the riff, that is the exact same. That's it. Now, if you need to go back and watch me play that slowly in the first section there, you can always go back to that time. I'll leave the timestamp to that in the description of the YouTube video, so you can just go there, and if you want to learn that part where I'm playing it real slow, just click on that, or I don't know if you'll be able to click it, but just go to that timestamp there in the video, and you'll be able to kind of just go over that, okay, until you get it down. Now, again, what we're going to focus on here is this part. And you'll see I do these slight little mutes in between some of those notes. Kind of gives it a very just quick stop. Okay, so notice that when I play this again, just kind of that quick stop between the little transition pieces there. Alright, so let's play the entire thing all the way through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slow it down just a little bit, play the entire thing. I'll play that through a couple of times, a little bit slower, just so you can kind of get the, watch what I'm doing and get that down. And then I'll finish it off one time at like normal speed, which I can't remember the BPM of this. Again, that's for my Patreon supporters. I'll have all that in the tab sheet that you'll download. So here we go. So I wanted to chat with you briefly about riff writing and why I played the same riff in the first part, right, of both of those sections, but why I changed it in the second part. So I want to go over that real quickly with you, but first of all, if you do not have my free practice guide, grab a copy of that. It's called Metal Riffs and Licks. You can go to the link in the description of the YouTube video here. If you already have my free practice guide, your next step is to get into my premium metal guitar course called Metal Riff Master. There's a link to that in the description as well. You'll learn over 80 new heavy metal riffs. If you are a complete beginner, I also have a course for that as well. So I'd say take that one first before Metal Riff Master. All of these links are available to you in the description of this YouTube video. Alright, so again, you notice the first part of each section of music there is the same. The second parts are a little bit different, and this is really for you guys who want to write your own riffs, which honestly, I encourage all of you to do that. And I've been kind of like preaching this lately on my YouTube videos. Even if you're a hobbyist, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. This is like the best hobby in the world that you can do. It's completely safe and it's just awesome. I mean, there's nothing like sitting down playing some metal guitar. When I'm filming these videos, I feel like we're jamming in the studio together. So it's just a really good sensation and a really good thing to have in your life. But whether you're a hobbyist and this is just something you do and you love to do, you're passionate about it, or if you're writing music for other people, or if you're writing music for yourself, for your band, or as a solo artist, or you just want to kind of take it to that next level, whatever the case is, I encourage you to focus on writing your own riffs. There's nothing like it. Learning someone else's riff, hey, that's great, it's challenging. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. There's nothing that can top writing your own riff and coming up with your own thing that just sounds cool. It's like, okay, I wrote that. It's not someone else's riff. This is something that came out of me that I created. So on that note, when you're writing riffs, okay, when you're writing, I want you guys to think that not everything has to be super complex for one. It's okay to show off your talent and show off your skills. There's a time and place for that. I don't know that that should be the culprit of every second of every single song or riff that you're writing. What happens when you do that is you only appeal to guitar players. You're not really broadening the audience. You see a lot of people that listen to heavy music and 80s music and metal or whatever, music in general. Yeah, there are musicians out there that listen to your music, but you may want to also appeal to the folks that aren't musicians, that just want to hear some good music. So you've kind of got to find that balance of showing off your talent, showing what you can do, but also writing music and riffs that people are like, okay, that just sounds cool. Sometimes the most simple riffs, like a song that I'm thinking of, Blacklist by Exodus, it's a pretty simple riff there, really simple, but man, when that comes on, it's like, okay, I'm listening to this on leg day because it's just a cool song. Blacklist, Exodus, just really cool, but very, very simple. nothing really complex going on there. So just remember to try to balance that out so that you're not just appealing to guitar players, hey, look what I can do, look at me, and you're writing music that's enjoyable to listen to, okay? And that may be different for everyone. Again, you know, what I'm telling you, just like there's no hard-coded rules of music, what I'm telling you is not a rule. It's just something for you to think about that I think that may help you. So I kind of got off topic here. So I chose to keep the riff the same. The reason why I do that sometimes, like, and I'll change the other parts, is because the riff at times is like that common thing that people hear, that thing that they remember. It's like, okay, they can almost hum that, you know. I mean, there's not too many notes in what we played there, and they'll remember that, right? That will resonate with them. So they hear it, then they hear the ending of it, then they hear the riff again. I'm like, oh, okay, this is the song. And oftentimes that's what will make the song. That riff is what makes the song. Think of Crazy Train, you know, we kind of based it off this. People remember that riff, right? There's other riffs and parts to the song, but the one riff that they remember is that Crazy Train riff, and that's why it's played, you know, over and over like that. So I kept it the same on both pieces of music. Now, I changed the ending, right? First time around, we just went back to the B power chord and then to that C. Give that little wicked twist there, which sounds cool, right? The second time around, well, I kind of did the same thing, but I went to a G and an A first. And it just gave you a variance. And this is where you do want to maybe think about, again, these aren't rules, but think about getting a little bit more technical sometimes in your riffs. Like, okay, I don't want to repeat the same thing. I did the riff, you know, one riff here, and I did the same riff second time around, but maybe I don't want to do the exact same thing and duplicate the whole thing, right? So play something different that second time around, just end a little differently. What that does, and especially in this case, so that you're not playing the same thing over and over, you're changing that second part up, it catches the listener off guard a little bit. They're like, okay, that first part was really cool. They've got that main riff in their head. Then they've got the short little ending there. But now the second time you play it, oh, you did something a little different there. That's captivating as just a music listener, right? I'm not talking about just a guitar player. Of course, a guitar player will like that as well. It's like, okay, they did something different here. I got to learn that now. But as a music lover that doesn't play an instrument, as a non-guitarist or non-instrumentalist, somebody just wants to listen to some cool metal, they can resonate with that, right? They can, or that's going to resonate with them rather, because you're playing the same thing but not really. And it's like, it just catches them off guard just a little bit, just enough to like bring them in and keep them listening to the song, because now they're wondering like, okay, they did something different the second time around. I wonder what's next. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. I just went up picks, by the way. This is an 88. Sometimes you guys ask me what picks I use. Totally off topic. This is just like random. I just started thinking about my pick for some reason. I was using, where's it at, man? I can't find it now. So I've been using these. This is a Dunlap, by the way. I've been using these Dunlap Max grips. This is a 0.60 millimeter pick here, and I've got some red ones, some Snarling Dog 0.73, but I just went up to the 0.88. It feels a little bit better, and I've actually got another 1 millimeter pick Dunlap that I've been using too. So that was just so random. I had my pick in my hand the whole time, and I went to put it up, and I'm like, let me share that with you guys real quick. Anyway, guys, check out the links in the description, the courses I have, the free practice guide, and of course, if you're on my Patreon, if you're one of my supporters there, you'll have the backing tracks and tabs. If you'd like to join my Patreon, you know, again, it's just one very simple tier level. You'll see it in the link. All those links are in the description, so check those out. And guys, leave me any questions about this riff or about what we just talked about. Let me know if this made sense to you, and more importantly, did this help you? You know, is it helping you kind of like put things together as you're writing riffs? Because that's what this is all about. And that's my job here, man. That's my job, is just really to help you guys push through to that next level and just keep pressing on, keep striving for better, and hey, keep being cool as well. So thank you guys for watching my videos. Thank you for the support. Please give this a thumbs up. YouTube likes when you do that. And please subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. I'm always putting out cool content like this. And guys, you know what to do until the next video. Keep it metal.